This is part 10 of why I think Sam Reid gives the perfect performance as the Vampire Lestat. We have come to the end of Interview with the Vampire Season 2. Let's begin. Episode 15. And that's the end of it. There's nothing else. A little context for the scene we are about to see. Louis wants revenge for Claudia's death. He managed to kill the vampire coven. He goes looking for Lestat with Armand, because he blames Lestat for Claudia's death after he saw him participating in the trial. I need to mention that Lestat is looking absolutely irresistible and gorgeous. Of course, he had to look his best for this scene to make it more painful. We find Lestat in the tower where Magnus kept him with all the other look-alike corpses. Lestat hasn't explained in detail his experience with Magnus, but we can imagine the horrible torture he received in the hands of Magnus. Lestat is remembering this traumatic event, repeating some words that Magnus told him when he turned him into a vampire. Here's the scene.
Ask for a child. The light's going out of your blue eyes. Like all the summer days are gone.
Is a little moment, but Sam Reid's delivery is heartbreaking. We feel for him. If he willingly go to that awful place, it was definitely to punish himself, and if it was Armand to keep him there, it was to torture him, so the result is the same. Louis and Armand arrive to Magnus Tower, and we find Lestat curl up and clearly distraught. Is not exactly the picture of a mastermind villain that is celebrating because he had his revenge. Louis is desperate to blame everyone but himself for what happened to Claudia, so it makes sense that he could believe Lestat was capable of wanting their daughter death. After all, he did see Lestat participating in the play that ultimately culminated in Claudia's death. I love Sam Reid acting in here. We can see in his eyes and facial expression how absolutely soul-crushed he is. Basically, Louis and Armand are there to kill him. Lestat tells them they can't. Armand tells Lestat that if someone as powerful as Magnus burned to ashes, he can burn as well. Lestat responds with, "I have the blood of Akasha in me." Lestat also tells them that he has to be willing, and he isn't in the mood. That remark reminds us that Louis and Claudia were able to hurt Lestat because he was willing. They couldn't have done it otherwise. Sam Reid's performance is brilliant. We can't see he is hurting, but he is done with being a willing participant in his own death. Sam Reid's magnificent performance let us know that despite the heartbreak and exhaustion he is feeling, he still has a strong spirit. Armand and Louis believe Lestat's words, so Louis has a better idea to kill Lestat, at least in spirit. And that idea is to be with Armand. Louis starts kissing him, and after this, he tells Lestat that they are going to spend the rest of their lives together, and that whatever his miserable life takes him, Louis will be with Armand. After this, Lestat seems to consider what to say. He takes a moment, he laughs a little, and in his wonderful brat prince style, he tells Armand to enjoy him, and adds, "Let's see how long it holds." Sam Reid's performance here is a complete pleasure to watch, not only because the man is looking absolutely stunning, but he is a master to convey emotions. We understand how awful and frustrated Lestat feels in that moment, thanks to the extraordinary performance of Sam Reid. Next scene, we find Louis sitting at the table in Dubai, telling Daniel that is the end of the story. Daniel have the script of the trial with Armand annotations all over, is a concrete evidence of Armand not only participating in the trial but also directing the play. We see Lestat looking stunning with that outfit that accentuates his beautiful figure. We also see Armand and Santiago rehearsing the play. Lestat isn't exactly thrilled to be there. Is a little moment, but Sam Reid is wonderful in this scene. We can see the way Lestat is looking at Armand is not a look of someone who wants to be there. We can see Lestat is angry at Armand. There is this moment when Lestat asks them how are they going to control Claudia. And Armand responds that the judges are going to fog her mind. Lestat explodes and yells at them that they have no idea of Claudia's strength. Once again, Lestat doesn't act as someone who is seeking revenge. We are back in the Dubai apartment, and we see Daniel telling Louis he was supposed to die with Claudia. Here is the scene.
What say you for the vampire, Louis de Pointe du Lac? Guilty or not guilty? And the sentence?
Banishment.
Banishment.
Where does the bullshit start, Armand, Amadeo, Arun? You were supposed to die with Claudia. He didn't save you. Lestat did. He just took credit for it when the opportunity presented itself. And you wasted everyone who could have told you differently. 77 years based on a seismic lie.
It's a forgery, Louis.
It's from the Talamasca. Sam was their guy in Paris. He gave it to them. They gave it to me here.
We see in this little moment how hard it must have been for Lestat to control the entire audience. His ears started to bleed due to the immense effort. We can see he is worn out. Lestat convinces us of the profound love he has for Louis. There is no doubt in my mind Lestat would have died trying to save him. Sam Reid's performance is remarkable. He does a splendid job convincing us as the worn-out lover, giving his last bit of energy to save his beloved Louis. We understand now why he was there. We see Louis leaving Armand and going to New Orleans to look for Lestat. Lestat and Louis reunion is not only one of the most heartfelt and beautiful scenes I had the pleasure to watch, but also one of the best performances I ever seen. It's a complete masterclass from start to finish. Louis finds Lestat in New Orleans living in a ruined house, with an annoying fledgling that helps him hunt for rats. Lestat dismisses him, and Louis and Lestat are finally alone. I immediately felt deeply moved by Lestat when we see his disheveled appearance. We can see he had a very difficult time. I think it's fair to say the house represents how Lestat feels. He is just barely holding it together. Lestat is looking absolutely beautiful, even with his neglected appearance. Lestat's entire demeanor is so heartbreaking. After being apart for so many years from his beloved Louis, we can understand how overwhelmed he must have felt. Sam Reid acting is perfection. We see Lestat is changed and looking hunted. Lestat asks Louis if he is passing through. Louis tells him that he came looking for him. Lestat asks him what his companion think of that, and Louis replies he is companion enough for himself now. Lestat tells Louis, "Good for you." We can see Lestat is being sincere, thanks to the skillful performance of Sam Reid. Lestat tells Louis he is sorry but is in the middle of rehearsing, that he is going on tour, a little nod to what is coming in the next season of the Vampire Lestat. In the middle of this moving reunion, we have this little moment of comic relief, and is when Lestat tells Siri to pause. Sam Reid's delivery is wonderful, is so convincing, portraying this reclusive vampire that has been living in his own world, probably tormented by ghosts. We have this little moment when Louis is approaching Lestat, and we can see how anxious Lestat gets. It's so moving. He probably can't believe this is real. Louis asks Lestat why he didn't tell him it was him the one who saved him in Paris and not Armand. Lestat replies he doesn't like to point out his virtues. Also, he knew Louis would figure it out eventually. We can see in Lestat's expression he didn't expected Louis would take that long. When Louis asked Lestat if he has been enduring in New Orleans all that time, Lestat replied that he has been living, not enduring. Louis surprised Lestat with his words, telling him he didn't know it was a gift, that he was selfish, that he tried to make nights awful for Lestat. Louis wanted him to suffer because he was suffering. Lestat responds telling Louis, "Shall we list all the ways we have wronged each other, and why it'll never be right between monstrous?" Louis interrupts him and tells Lestat that he came to thank him for the gift he offered him, the gift he denied, for the nights in front of him where he might learn to live honestly. Lestat's expression after hearing Louis is of absolute astonishment. We can see it means the world to Lestat that Louis is going to start embrace his vampire nature. Sam Reid give us a profound performance. We can see he is about to cry. All of his facial expressions tell us how moved he is by Louis's words. Next we see Lestat asking Louis about the day he spoke with Armand. He wants to know if Louis was there, and if he harmed himself. Here is the scene.
September 8, 1973. It was 11:07 here. It would have been 9:07 in San Francisco. Armand called me. Were you there?
Yeah.
Did you hurt yourself?
I was lost. I was in a dark way.
Sam Reid's performance here is superb, is so real and raw. He looks so shattered. Lestat probably went mad when Armand told him Louis was hurt. Everything about this performance tells us how much Lestat worships Louis. It's clear Lestat is never going to stop caring about him. The incredible performance delivered by the talented Sam Reid convinces us of how deeply Lestat loved Louis. Lestat tells him he can't get her out of his mind, and he thinks Louis has the same problem. Louis tells Lestat Claudia's death is not on him. Lestat tells Louis Claudia looked at him at the end like a child looking to her father, but he was never. Lestat doesn't finish his sentence. In that moment, Louis hugs Lestat. Lestat's expression is of someone who can finally share his grief with the only person that can understand how he feels. Lestat is finally embracing Louis. His heartbreaking attitude is of someone that finds a little bit of consolation and reassurance. At least in that moment, he is not alone. Sam Reid's performance is absolutely soul-crushing in here. We can't see how deeply Lestat loved Claudia and how devastated he is feeling. We can see the immense pain Lestat is carrying due to the magnificent performance delivered by Sam Reid. After the hug, we see Louis giving gentle kisses in Lestat's temple and telling him something. We don't know what they said to each other. I think at this point most people watching this know that Roland Jones, the producer and writer of the show, gave this moment as a gift to Jacob and Sam. Nobody but them knows what they said to each other, which makes this scene even more special. The reunion scene is one of the most beautiful and emotional moments I ever seen. I think this scene is gonna stand the test of time. We have come to the end. It's been a complete pleasure watching Sam Reid work his magic. He poured his heart and soul into this role. This video have been made with the sole purpose of showing my appreciation and respect to this talented actor. I can't wait to see Sam Reid in this new season of the Vampire Lestat. I just know he is gonna blow our minds. The beauty and talent are guaranteed. Thank you for watching.